Now, Bada Akintunde Johnson will be joining us this morning to talk more about this and also on the transfer, what went down last night on deadline day. Bada, good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Morning, Cecilia. Always a pleasure to be on the show. Good morning, Yemi, and good morning to the viewers.
Okay, let me just ask you the first question. What do you think about the appointment of Randy Wardell as the coach of the Super Falcons?
Oh, well, I think fundamentally excited that the Super Falcons, as you quite rightly said, have a coach after a year. There's not a lot happening on the local scene. So it'll be nice to have a coach who can be here with the local support and get the team together more regularly, get them playing friendlies, get them, in tune and sync with a particular philosophy. Get them ready for our continental engagements where we have dominated 9 out of 11 wins on the Africa Women's Championship front. It doesn't get more dominant than that, but we want to sustain that because you can see that the chasing pack is getting closer and closer, particularly in South Africans. And again, on the world stage, you want to go one better than the best we've achieved so far. So I don't know what our expectations are if we're debating whether or not this guy has got pedigree. Are we expecting to hire the best coaches in the world for the Nigerian female national team? Do the best coaches in the world coach the male national team? Will the best coaches in the world want to coach the Super Falcons? I mean, think about it. There's no local league. For starters, can we pay them? Should that even be what we're looking to do? Shouldn't we be looking more to someone who's got experience within the lower structures, developmental structures, like this man that's just been appointed, someone who has a view, who has sight of what the key fundamental pieces must be to get up the best crop of players representing us, garnished with the guys or the ladies who play in Europe, and being able to forge and form them into a very dominant, very, very reliable, very competitive national team for us. I think that's what we should be debating. I think maybe we're being overly, what's the word now, entitled to think that the best coaches in the world, like were mentioned by the guest who spoke before me, would ever consider coaching Nigeria. I don't think that we're at that level. And I don't think it's even necessary to pay top dollar to go and attract coaches that have won the World Cup or have gone to the Olympics and have done well and all whatnot. We don't have coaches of that pedigree coaching the male national team. For starters, let's be real here. I think the guy that has been appointed is a fantastic appointment, and it remains to be seen whether he'll hit the ground running and do the job, just as it would have been if we were hiring a guy who had won the World Cup. There is no automatic success. You still have to do the work. And so we'll wait to see whether, he comes in, does the work and delivers. So I think we've got a man whose profile fits the job, and what he needs now, like the guy who spoke before me said, is all the support that the stakeholders, the administrators, the NFF, the media, the players themselves, the support that he needs from everyone needs to be available to him to succeed, and that's what we should be concerned about.
Okay, all right. Let's switch gears now and talk about the Super Eagles. The squad has been decimated by injuries and withdrawals, but of course we're still excited ahead of those two friendlies in the month, and a lot of players have been coming into the camp of the Super Eagles. So let me just say, how excited are you ahead of those friendlies, or has those withdrawals in any way dampened your expectations ahead of those two key friendlies?
Yemi, to be honest, I'm very, very excited. My enthusiasm has never been higher in recent times, to be honest. I think that we have a very exciting, young crop of players and an opportunity to blood a couple more. I've seen pictures from the early arrivals. I think the players are excited. We've got continuity with General Roy continuing with the team. So there are no disruptions. And then what excites me the most is the quality of the sides that we're playing in these friendlies. I can't remember the last time we lined up two friendlies within the same international window, and they were top-rated friendlies that could actually test the quality of our team or the strength of our team. And so, you know, as you prepare,
Okay.
which will be the first year, we would have seen the quality, you know, or the level of our preparedness and the quality of our players going into that particular game.
Okay.
All right. Since we're talking about the Super Eagles, let's quickly have a look and see the list of players already in camp. And there you have it. I'm excited as you are, but let me see if I can run quickly through the names that you have right there on your screen. You have Kenneth Omero in there. You have Moses Simon in there. Samuel Carlos Chidera, Ejuke Leon Balogun, Matthew Yakubu, William Trust Ekong, Shemi Ajayi, Olalua Aino, Kelechi Iheanacho Dele, Alan Pasu, Jamilu Collins, Frank Oyenka, Cyril Desers, and Alex Iwobi. As at this morning, some other players still being expected in camp. But let's take it a step further. You talked about wanting to see some of the new guys play for the national team. At the end of the day, I know it's just a friendly, but would the result, because the average fan on the street love victories, would the result matter more than having to see those new players in the setup, or all that matters is just see those new players in the setup, or if we can do both, it's fine?
Well, I mean, it would be nice to do both, be able to test players, test philosophies, test different styles, and still be able to come out with, you know, a respectable result. I don't think that primarily the reason people play friendlies is to win them. If you win them, fantastic. But they are tune-up games. That's what they are called. They are opportunities in a real match scenario for you to see what your plan looks like. And so, as much as you know, the premium importance is not on winning. You also don't want to lose badly, because that can throw all the work that you're doing out of the window. Because I mean, you lose scandalously, and you know the people, you know, get on your back. The press gets on your case. It casts a lot of doubt on you know, the progress that you are making. So you want to see that progress show in a real match situation. It's a simulation of what will happen in a real, you know, a competitive fixture that counts. So if you get battered, you know, it creates fear, it creates uncertainty in the minds of your fans, creates fear, uncertainty in the minds of the other stakeholders, because they expect that in that qualifier match, you probably get battered as well. So yes, we want to focus on giving new players opportunities. We want to focus on seeing the progress that we've made with players that have been around. We want to see what shape they are in, even though we know they play in their clubs. Some of them we even have the opportunity to watch. We want to see how they come together as a cohesive unit. But doing all of that doesn't mean that it'll be okay to get battered. We want to get a respectable scoreline from both games.
Both games. Okay, talking about having new players coming into the team, NFF President Amaju Pinnick tweeted last night that, you know, Gennett Rowe might be light in the middle, but then FIFA have actually granted permission to former German under-20 skipper, talking about Kevin Ufoma Akpoguma, to, you know, play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And of course, he will be part of the team. What do you think he's going to bring into the squad?
I was quite impressed by the number of matches this guy has played in the German national team setup, albeit at youth level. Yes. You don't rack up that amount of games or that number of games without having quality. Germany, Spain, France, and to some extent these days England, to my mind, and in that order, particular order, have the strongest youth systems in the world. I respect the Germans so much because we know they are famed for organization, for ability to efficiently create systems that work, you know, like a production line in a factory. And you look at the national teams that they've, you know, produced in recent times, the one that won the World Cup in 2014, a case in point. 4 years before in South Africa, there were a bunch of nobodies. We really didn't know so much about them. They came into the Confederations Cup again just a year before the last World Cup, with a bunch of, you know, youngsters, the Timo Werners of this world, the Kai Havertz of this world. Yeah. You know, they always just have that supply line of top quality talent. And if this guy has developed through those, or through that system, then we can expect a certain level of quality from him. And so for me, he's a fantastic addition to the team. But again, I mean, he would have to come and prove himself. It's no guarantee that he'll do well. But you work with what's in front of you, and what's in front of us are the stats that he's racked up playing in the youth or cadet ranks for the German national teams. And so I hope that it does come in and improve us, because any addition that is not improving us or upgrading us is a worthless addition. You don't add numbers to the national team just for the sake of it. So let's hope that is an upgrade on what we already have, and if that's the case, then it'll be a phenomenal find.
All right. But I'm still talking about football. We have to switch now and talk about club football. Yesterday was deadline day. A lot of activities. In Cecilia's view, some clubs won, some lost. Don't know about that anyway. But let's quickly show you some selected transfers. Then you talk about the one that got you excited. Let's just quickly see what you have. Manchester United was quite busy yesterday. But there you have it. Edson Cavani, Alex Telles, Facundo Pellistri all came to United. They still got a couple of other players as well. Thomas Partey, what's kept secret, ended up joining Arsenal. Chris Smalling returned to Roma. Tosin Adarabioyo from Manchester City went to Fulham for an undisclosed fee. Then you have Douglas Costa to Bayern on loan. Robin Olsen from Roma to Everton on loan. Ruben Loftus-Cheek from Chelsea to Fulham on loan. Then you have Theo Walcott returning to his roots in Southampton. We just picked a few. There are many that happened. But Bada, talk to us about the ones that got you excited. I'm very sure probably Thomas Partey will be somewhere on that list.
Party for us.
I've been having a party. Pun intended. Because I'm a big fan of Thomas Partey. I've always been. I think about 3 years ago or so, I saw the Black Stars game against a North African team. I can't remember now. And Partey and Andrea Yu were just absolutely brilliant. And at the time, I wasn't really so familiar with Thomas Partey, especially being such a driver, box to box, like player. He bossed the game, he scored, he was terrific. And from that point on, I just kept watching him, looking out for him whenever Atletico Madrid were playing, and he just never disappointed. He's a 10 over 10 player most days. And so when Arsenal got linked with him at the beginning of the transfer window, I was praying, I was on my knees praying that it would happen. And at some point it went cold because Arsenal seemed to be more interested in signing Hossein Aouar from Lyon. But that didn't happen, and last minute, the transfer for Thomas Partey was done. What does Thomas Partey bring? Like I already said, I think since Patrick Vieira, Arsenal haven't had that commanding, dominant presence in the middle of the park. A guy who can do both sides of the game. He can defend, he can tackle, he can drive the team forward, he can play, quality passes to open up defenses, he can score goals, he's strong aerially. He's got just about everything you want in a central midfielder. And then you can imagine him sitting alongside Xhaka and Ceballos in the middle for Arsenal. And Arsenal have lacked creativity. Their chance creation rate and shots on target or shot on goal rate since Arteta has come has dropped because Ozil has been frozen out, and they've prioritized being defensively solid. So what he brings is improvement to the team along those lines. And I'm so excited that they got that deal done. 45 million pounds, 50 million euros, 250,000 a week. Is a bargain buy at 27 years old. And before you say that's an African there, we can't trust his age. I saw his mother's picture. Thomas Partey is a young guy. And I'm just so excited. The second transfer that excites me, albeit for a rival, is the Cavani move to United. And I've said it to United fans who care to listen. Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford are going to do their best work from the wings because they are pacey players who fundamentally like to run into space, especially when you're playing teams that push up and United is counter-attacking. But when it comes to games where there's a low block and you're playing with your back to goal, these guys are not at their most efficient or most effective. they get nullified very, very easily. And then when they play against top quality sides, they get figured out very easily. They play very quiet games. When you have those games when chances are their premium, you have 2 chances a game, they really don't deliver. A case in point, Europa League semi-final against Sevilla, where chances fell to Antonio Martial, and Martial didn't bury them. Edison Cavani has scored everywhere he's played. He was top scorer in Italy. He was top scorer for successive seasons in Paris. He's the all-time highest goal scorer for Paris Saint-Germain. He's got pedigree. That's the player they've gone and gotten themselves for free. And I can bet you he will score a lot of goals if he stays injury-free. The only downside to this transfer for me on a personal note, and I guess for most Nigerians, is the impact on Odion Ighalo. Because what that means is Ighalo is not going to play. He had a terrific start, but his form has sort of, stalled in the last few months. And this is a United that is under a lot of pressure. They've lost their first 2 home games of the season by a cumulative score of 9-3. And that's just not good enough. So Anthony, the manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is not going to be looking to experiment or try things. If you check social media, there's a lot of the support base or the fan base that isn't really, pro Ighalo at the moment. They are not convinced that he's going to do the business. So Cavani will come in, he will play, he will score goals, and that's phenomenal, for United. What they now need to go and do is sort out their defense, which has been a disaster since the start of the season. But in terms of goal scoring, they've got Mason Greenwood, they've got Rashford, they've got Anthony Martial, they've got Cavani now. They've got, options are plenty. There's Daniel James there. And then the young stars can, look to the matador for inspiration, for experience, for guidance on how to finish, how to, play in difficult games, how to play with your back to goal, how to, play when you're being policed by some of the best central defenders in the world.
Now, but 7-2, we didn't expect that. We saw United, that shouldn't be a worry to anyone. But Liverpool, it was a bit of a worry. But the coach said it's just a blip and something they need to bounce back. Do you think Liverpool will be able to overcome this one and come back stronger after the international break?
I wouldn't read much into it, to be honest. I think that the one thing that is a takeout for me in the spate of results we've seen since the start of the season is that maybe because the fans are not in the stadium, and then there's maybe a bit more, the teams are more comfortable playing on the front foot, and defending isn't necessarily at the highest level for most teams. Teams are scoring goals with reckless abandon, and it's happened to just about the best of teams. City were hit for 5, United for 6, Liverpool for 7. Leicester themselves, who scored 5 against City, were hit for 3 at home by West Ham. It's going round. But it was most unexpected for a Liverpool side that over the last two years have been so difficult to score against, and against a team like Aston Villa, who narrowly escaped relegation last season. But Villa have had a strong start to the season, and they brought some useful players in. The guy who got 3 goals, Ross Barkley. Jack Grealish is one of the finest players in the league. So I thought on the day, Liverpool were playing their 3rd game in a week, it must be said. They played on Monday against Arsenal, played on Thursday against Arsenal, and then again they were playing on Sunday against Aston Villa. You can't make excuses for them, yes, but those things do play a part. And then they were missing Alisson. They were missing Mane, who I think is their most important attacking player. And more importantly, in the context of the game, if you remember, when Villa went 1-up, Liverpool switched it up, created chances, and Firmino didn't take them. Yeah. Had they gone 2-1-up, the whole complexion of the game would have changed. I thought Villa took a lot of confidence from knowing that every time they went forward, they looked like scoring, and Liverpool didn't quite look like scoring every time they had chances. And then they just kept flowing forward, and Liverpool just collapsed. When that happens in this league, it is going to be taken advantage of. It doesn't matter who you are. And that's exactly what happened. There was a total meltdown from Liverpool. They didn't get going. The goalkeeper made an early error, sent panic waves through the defense line. Van Dijk didn't look like his usual self. Gomez was being run ragged by Grealish. And it was just a very good day in the office for Aston Villa and a very bad day in the office for Liverpool. But yeah, going forward, I think that the Leeds game, Liverpool Leeds that ended 4-3, and the Aston Villa game that ended 7-2 has sort of shown the rest of the league a template for how to beat Liverpool. But let me sound a note of warning. It is not always going to work. It is not always going to work. You will find a Liverpool on their good day that will bear their fangs, and they will take you apart. But occasionally, you would have a Liverpool that will not be up to it, and they will be there for the taking, like they were against Aston Villa.
Okay, but I want to thank you so much for taking our time to talk to us this morning once again.
Thank you for having me, as always.
All right, we have so many tweets to go through, Yemi. There's so many. I don't know where we're going to start.
Let's see how much we can take.
Okay, how much you can take. I'll start with Charles Ma says the appointment of Wardrum seemed to fit the NFL developmental project rather than a desire to win laurels. That's what Charles is saying.
That's one way to look at it.
Then Extra Time Sports says, we always show that we love boots licking. Falcons have come a long way. Give it to one of the ladies. They have seen the word. Why, Randy? Just asking some questions. I don't know the last thing he said. Okonora says he will help to attract Nigerian females playing in Europe, just like what we see in our Super Eagles. Then Robert Ntabia says, it's my hope and belief that the new coach will take the Super Falcons to an enviable height when they face their international female counterparts in the bigger stage. And Uche, still commenting on the appointment of Randy, says, good appointment concerning the new Super Falcons coach. Hopefully, he supersedes his predecessor. And Boson says, for crying out loud, why would Nigeria hire a coach who has only collegiate experience and will be hired on a part-time basis when there are competent and vastly experienced coaches everywhere? And he went for that to, hail Arsenal. Now that Arsenal have their man party, hope we get to party at the end of the season. I think I'm just ending this because there's so many just coming.
That's what we traded on Twitter. Everybody talking about party
at the end of the season.
It's interesting. Hopefully at the end of the season, I'll see if they're truly going to have a party with party. We'll see. All right, let's take a look at the papers as we prepare to wrap these up on the show. 3 papers for review. Let's see how far we can go with all of them. Let's start with Sporting Life. Sporting Life has some interesting stories to look at today. We have stories about transfers. We have Man United side, Cavani, we've talked about that. Ronaldo could face, this story has been ongoing on page 5, rape accuser in court. Disastrous financial year for Barcelona. That's the worst kept secret. Everyone's been talking about dwindling fortunes of Barcelona. Chelsea, Inter, that's on the bottom strip. Chelsea, Inter, Milan talk over loan deal for Victor Moses. Other interesting stories in and around transfers. Yesterday was deadline day. Some clubs took advantage and some clubs folded their hands. All right. Complete Sports? Yeah, Complete Sports is next. Of course, Partey is right here. Arsenal signed £45 million Partey from Atletico, and Chelsea sent Bakayoko on loan to Napoli. Will be NHL lead 25 Eagles to Austria. Some of these Eagles are already in camp. And Balogun ready for Algeria and Tunisia games. You also have Lauds joins Eagles in camp. Raw faces midfield headache. I mean, that's a good one. Guendouzi joins Hertha Berlin on loan. I mean, Arsenal just had to let 2 players leave, right? Torreira is also on his way to Atletico. Atletico on out of the squad. Smalley, complete £80 million move to Roma. I mean, I didn't want this guy to actually leave because I wanted competition with Harry Maguire, but somehow Maguire, United guys, you have to. They stuck with Maguire. Yeah, they stuck with him. Simply put, they stuck with Maguire. I thought Smalley was going to stay. I mean, maybe use big money and try to get Roma off their back. Probably didn't like the way he was treated. His form dipped, it must be said. And he was playing every game at the AS. Did you watch him at the AS Roma? His form dipped when he was at United. Now you're talking. So I guess he didn't like the way he was treated. Did his form really dip, or maybe because they got Maguire and all that? That's the thing. It's the whole team. Well, so everything complete £20 million deal for Godfrey signing. Okay. Right. The last one is Sporting Sun. And Akpoguma, Iwobi, Dessers, all of them, they are in Super Eagles camp. Everyone is actually excited about this one.
And this one talking about picking England ahead of Nigeria. Saka's father unhappy with his son. Okay. Well, Igalo's set for Man U exit. Yeah, his loan deal is going to expire in January.
Anyway,
so of course, this is just nothing. It's going to leave. Cavani is 33, is there. But when he's given the chance, Carabao Cup and Champions League Cup, I think he should take it. And maybe he can get into the team again. Arsenal meet, of course, Partey's release clause.
All right.
And you have a table. Of course, Oganekare is out of the tie. And that's
all right.
What, okay,
so that's it,
we'll leave it
for the papers, and we've crossed the finish line today. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything we're able to bring to you. We enjoyed it, and of course, we're back here again tomorrow to do what we love doing best. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Thanks for watching.